Let's get right to that breaking news. SkyCal over downtown Los Angeles. This is where this vacant building is on fire still. You see a lot of smoke in the area. You have fire crews battling this 4-story structure fire on South Hope Street, and officials say this is a 100-year-old building. It's vacant. I mean, look at all the water they're using now from the ladder trucks, but it's possible that there are homeless people who were living inside. So right now there is a street closure at Pico Boulevard and Hope Street, just a few blocks from the Crypto.com arena. Let's go to Margaret Stewart. She is a spokesperson for the LA Fire Department to just get some more information. Margaret, thanks for joining us with this. It was pretty big, those flames coming out of this building. What else do we know?
Thank you. Yes, just before 11 a.m., LA City Fire responded to a reported structure fire in the 1200 block of South Hope Street in downtown Los Angeles. As your viewers can see, this is a large, it's almost 50,000 square foot, 4-story, 3 residential over commercial building that was vacant. There was initially just light smoke showing upon arrival, and so firefighters made entry to perform an investigation to locate the source. And once they were able to get up to the upper floors, they found that there was heavy fire on the 4th floor. This then became a defensive operation. All firefighters exited, came off the roof, came off the roof, and then established the heavy streams that you can see now. They've made tremendous progress. The fire is mostly extinguished on the 4th floor, but there is some partial collapse, some roof collapse. So this is going to be an extended operation while they continue to hit hot spots before we're able to declare a knockdown, and then there's going to be significant overhaul required.
Absolutely, and yeah, you see how many resources are being used right now in this big building, and you mentioned that it's vacant. It was vacant, obviously, when the fire started there on the 4th floor. Were any rescues had to be made with possibly homeless people living there?
There were some unhoused persons that were exiting the building. We did have firefighters place ground ladders to fire escapes because they could see there were a couple of people coming to the fire escape. I don't have a number. We don't have any injuries reported. I do want to advise commuters and drivers today that Pico, from east and west traffic, Pico at Hope is shut down, so they should avoid that area.
Yeah, and with these massive buildings that we see when these fires start in downtown LA, this has to have a different approach by these firefighters to battle something this large and this tall, correct? Than, let's say, a home.
Yeah, well, you know, the tactics, the strategies we use are similar. You know, they're adjusted for the size and the complexity of the incident and the structure. So whether it's a defensive operation, whether it's offensive, whether we can extinguish the fire from the exterior, we go interior. But it's the same, you know, it's the same skill set. It's the same basic strategies, just adjusted based on the type of building.
Yeah, and in this case, trying to keep it from even spreading to those other buildings that are so close to this vacant one.
Yes, we call those exposures. So on the one side of this building, there is another structure that was exposed. Fortunately, most of the area on the 3 sides is open. So one of the top priorities is always to defend the exposures, especially when we're in a defensive operation. We're not going to be saving the structure that's on fire. So we're going to defend any of the exposed buildings. So we're going to have hand lines and hoses in place to prevent that fire from extending, which they have done. The fire is contained to this one building, you know, although obviously, you know, this building is going to be a total loss.
Sure. And Margaret, lastly, just do we know anything about the cause yet at this point? I know it's very early.
No, we don't. Because of the size of the incident, per protocol, our arson investigators are attached, and they'll conduct a cause investigation. Okay.
Thank you, Margaret, for the time there with the Los Angeles Fire Department. This is, again, a fire that broke out in a vacant building just a short time ago, a few hours ago, on Hope Street. Officials are saying that this was a 100-year-old building. As you heard there from the LA Fire Department, it seems to be a total loss. possibly some rescues made with some homeless people who were living inside. We'll keep an eye on things here, but be aware of those street closures at Pico Boulevard and Hope Street as firefighters continue to put water on a fire that broke out here in this building. But it looks like for the most part they do have a good handle on it. Just still a lot of smoke you'll notice in the area. Let's